welcome to Blue Jays Today. Today we are kicking off the weekend, sipping a little bit. Well, actually, we don't have any alcohol right now. But maybe for the stream later, I got a few things in the fridge that I might whip out. But we're hanging out. We're doing a Q&A right now. We're talking baseball. It's been a little bit because the boys have been on vacay, a little bit of a road trip right there. Ran into some technical problems as to getting the stream up and going, but we are now here, everybody. So please hit the like, smash the subscribe, and comment your questions into the chat. Because that's what this is. It is the Q&A, everybody. And lots of stuff has been going on, baseball-wise, Blue Jays-wise, since we were last live, which was last Sunday. Holy shit, it's been a minute.
And we were doing it out of a New York hotel. We had a very minimal setup, and we'll appreciate you guys for those who are tuning into that.
Yeah.
Wasn't our usual set.
No. We're back home right now. I think the trips are pretty much canned for a minute. The boys are gonna be back on the grind. I spent way too much money as it was anyway, so
ridiculous, New York, how expensive it is.
Well,
what the hell?
It's just the way of it, though. It's just the way of it, man. You go out, you drink for a few days. It's the money starts to go.
Even I had a bill that was I had mozzarella sticks, I had a salad and 2 beers, and it was $60.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's American. That
ended up being Canadian.
Oh,
that was the conversion, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's still ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
But either way, guys, we're back in Toronto right now. We really need to get that Julio Rodriguez extension if we want to be taking any more trips like that, and that is something that we're absolutely going to talk about in this stream. Like I said before, hit us with the Q&As. First thing that we are going to chat about, though, while we are live right now, is Matt Chapman and the potential for him to coat that glove in a beautiful golden film, also known as a Gold Glove, and win that for being an elite defensive player.
For the fourth time in his many seasons.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a minute. He is elite defensively. And those numbers have started to become a little bit better, right?
Yeah, and the reason why we're bringing this all up, y'all saw the game. He had one incredible defensive double play he turned when he was on the left side of the diamond, being basically in the shortstop position on, I believe it was Wednesday. And it was incredible. Backhand, first of all, dive, scoops it, backhand of Bo to Vlad. Incredible double play. Then there was a play last night where Mono comes in to help the game. Bases loaded. 1 out. Chapman gets it, goes over to third, gets the runner out, on the run, steps and throws, and boom, gets the runner at first, saves the game, goes in extras where we win it. And the conversation's now Chapman Gold Glove. Now, we looked earlier at Chapman Gold Glove, and he wasn't doing as well in terms of outs above average.
That was the big thing, right? Because the eyeball test, initially, when you thought about Matt Chapman, you just kind of already assumed, okay, he must be really good at baseball because he's Matt Chapman, and, he's making plays that I see a lot of other guys can't make consistently. But then we took a look at it, and we're like, oh, well, it's actually not that good. It has gotten significantly better as time has progressed. What is that number? I can't really see it from
63.
here.
He's ranked 63rd percentile.
So that's pretty good. That is definitely above league average right there. And it's way better than the 35 or whatever percent it was,
35,
a month,
34.
2 months ago or something like that. So we're seeing a lot of positive regression right now from Matt Chapman, which is beautiful because that's basically what we wanted him to be. I love that he's hitting homers and stuff like that now, but at the end of the day, I wanted a defensive specialist to lock down that third base bag after watching Kevin Biggio fuck shit up for, a season and a half or however long that was.
And I think he's really starting to get healthy again. He had that injury, and I believe it was to his hand, it was the thumb or something where in his hand was injured, and that was a cause of his defensive plays, his air-mailing throws. He's not being himself, but looks like he's fully healthy because the bat's back, and he's back defensively. Now, Red Bull Insider here is saying that Arenado and Machado are better defensively, and I absolutely agree, but they're in the NL.
Yeah.
All we have to do for the Gold Glove for third base is beat out the AL.
Yeah, and I will admit, guys, Matt Chapman, when we signed him, I know there was a lot of talk about, maybe he could win the Platinum Glove, because he's done that twice in his career. This is not a Platinum Glove season. There are other players like an Arenado who are just absolutely, incredible right now.
In the NL. He can win it in the NL.
I guess so, yeah. Is that how it works for Platinum Glove? All right.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't really think that's going to be happening for Matt Chapman either. Regardless, the Platinum Glove seems a little bit too much, but the Gold Glove I think could be up for grabs.
It's doable. I mean, there isn't much competition when you look at it. Like, we got here every single third baseman in the AL, and there's a few names that we all recognize here. So I wanted to take a look and really break it down. Like, is it possible for Matt Chapman, if he keeps going at the rate that he's going at, to actually win a Gold Glove? You got Alex Bregman over at the Houston Astros. Now, I know there's a few of these guys who are good defensively, but none in my mind that stand out to Matt Chapman type of level.
Right.
What the hell?
Weird. Super weird.
Weird. It just... Savant does this from time to time, guys. It just... Look, I'm typing, and there we go.
It is, there's just so much data in this goddamn thing. I give it a break every now and again. I'm just like, you're doing your job.
Alex Bregman, not up there at all.
I don't think so. And Alex Bregman's never really been known as being a defensive guy. Like, he's decent, but, like, not Matt Chapman or Arenado or Machado levels of incredible.
No.
Now, Raffy, I always thought...
He's a lot better this year.
He's a lot better, yeah. Because if we go back to, go to 2020 or 2019 or something like that...
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Last year was horrible.
Last year was absolutely atrocious. You see the bat is incredible, but the defense is awful.
Right.
And okay, you know what? Wow.
Much better.
You are becoming a really good MLB player, Rafael Devers. Honestly, hats off to Rafael Devers. This is a really good MLB player, guys. I wish that we could lock this guy up long term, but we can't because Boston's going to do that if they're smart.
Yeah, and we also got another big name, Jose Ramirez. Now, we all know him because of the bat. But in terms of defense this year, let's just take a little peek right here. Just going to grab some of the big names. We won't go too deep into this. Jose Ramirez. Kind of right around where Chapman is.
The same. And, this is also just outs above average.
Yeah.
There's so many things to consider. I don't watch Jose Ramirez on a day-to-day basis. I don't watch him make the plays. I see every now and again a Cleveland Guardians game, and I go, okay, you're doing what you have to do over there. But is he doing the same thing? Is he doing more? This is stuff that I think you have to be in the world of baseball, like being one of the voters. Who votes on this shit? Is it the players? Or a player association?
There's a panel or
okay, well,
a coach.
Hopefully, I you know what? I always hate shit like that, like the panels and stuff like that, because sometimes there's a lot of biases involved in that. But hopefully, they're all unbiased and they all watch everyone, an equal amount of time, so they can, vote on this and be a little bit more intelligent than I can as far as watching these dudes.
So in terms of Matt Chapman winning Gold Glove, I think it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I'd put him in the top 3 or 4 of third baseman in the AL, and I'm based on his track record, you gotta assume that he's got a bit of a bias advantage because everyone knows Matt Chapman's super elite, just like Arenado has been super elite. Now,
that's the thing.
Yeah, this is a down year for Matt Chapman, but he still got about 6 weeks of baseball left to go, so I think it's a very good possibility. If he keeps up what he's doing in the Boston series the rest of the way, then yes. Then he will definitely win a Gold Glove down the stretch.
I was trying to right now. I'm actually going to see. I don't even know if they have this at all, but I'm going to take a quick look and just see if there is like a season special. Will that be under that? Would there be odds on this? Who you can bet on for a Gold Glove in the American League? I feel like you could do that, right?
Yeah, there is.
There's got to be that.
Gold Glove. I'm gonna look it up I'm gonna see if I can get it here.
Yeah, I can't find it on my site right now, but there definitely has to be something like that.
Yeah, I can't really find it here either. But anyways, definitely I think he would be top 3. Probably top 3. I mean, just because it's Matt Chapman. It's the only reason why Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is still in the top 5 of MVP conversations this year in terms of betting. Because his name's Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
And he was also doing,
doing
well enough. Doing well enough to get into that. Got a few comments coming in here. What's up, Blue Jays today? Can't believe we got out of the 9th last night. I know. Big one.
Well, Matt Chapman and
Berrios could be back, folks. You gotta hope, man. You have to hope. Is Berrios back? You think the Berrios could be officially back? We're, 2 good starts? I think it's a bit too early to be saying that. I mean, I hope so. That's the upside. And he has had 2 really nice starts in a row, but we've seen this movie before all season long, right?
Yeah. Taking a look over here at the game logs. Let's see what he's been doing for the last. Let's take a bigger sample size. August. In August, wow. Okay, he's got an ERA of 7.08.
All right, well that's bad. That's not good.
That's bad. See, look, 5. He had 2 starts.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is 2 starts.
He had a better stretch. Where is it here? Look,
Not really, yeah.
He never really had it, but
no.
that one game, yeah, he's not back.
No.
He's still doing. I will be easily not surprised if he like blows up another game the next one.
100%.
So, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think we actually talked about this, and for me to gain full trust in Jose Berrios, it actually can't happen this season. You know, he might be quote unquote back. He might actually be back in his elite form, but I'm never going to fully trust him this entire season. It's just impossible based on the fact that we are almost at the end of August and your ERA is still well above 5, right? You've broken it, man. You got to be elite the rest of this year. Then you got to be elite like through April and May, and then if you do that, all right, then I can officially say you are quote unquote back. Even though you've kind of been back for a while. You need
to do exactly the amount of time that you spent being bad. I need to see that exact same amount of time being good.
Being elite.
That's it.
And then I'll be like, okay, Jose Berrios on the mound. I know exactly what I'm going to get right now. I still have no idea what I'm going to get.
I have no idea. Rolling dice. I literally think it's the equivalent of rolling a 6-sided die, and 6-5 being we give up 6 or 5 earned runs, 1-2 being give up 1 or 2. Like that's literally what I think it is.
Right.
It's that
there
none
is
of shots.
There is no 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Or no 3 and 4.
Except it's kind of weighted higher on the 4, 5, and 6 side because he's got a 5 ERA.
Yeah.
Would
yeah.
That
he does.
Well, I guess it's just for the outing. I guess not
much,
for the whole 9.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's kind of what
basically
it is.
a 50-50 chance with Jose Berrios. So I'm hoping that, and Patrick Garrett's saying if Berrios can get his fastball, then he will be elite again. And, okay, like, I hear what you're saying, dude. But I always, like, I think it's kind of funny when people say shit like that. Because it's like, oh, well, like, if you were a fucking wheel, then you would roll. You know what I mean? Like, yes, if he could do that, then he would be elite.
Then you
would. If Biggio could hit, then he would be a good hitter, right? So it's like, yes, I hear what you're saying. He has to actually execute on those things, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're like, I'll just comment on this. He cannot throw his fastball down the middle anymore. He can't. Because look at it. It gets destroyed.
Yeah, and he's been doing like if you look at that heat map, that's pretty much as in the middle as you can get,
Look, oh my god. See, here's the thing. Last year, he was throwing it even more down the middle, throwing a sinker on the edges and everything. But then this year, his four-seam, it's just like the command's not there. At least he was pumping it down the middle, with some command. The sinker is down the middle. Look at that too. That sinker in on the hands can be definitely deadly, or definitely away from the righties, in on the hand, or in the hands on the righties, away from the lefties. But the sinker's getting beat up. It doesn't look like he's using it 24% of the time. He's just not. Yeah, you're right. If he could do it, he'd probably pitch better. Yeah. But if the command's not there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many things to think about with Berrios. I still have no idea why he's bad, but he is, and hopefully he'll be back very, very, very soon. I want to touch on something that a little bit of news that broke earlier today, and shout out to the young boy Julio Rodriguez. This kid, younger than we are, and he's gonna get paid way more money than Adam and I will combined make in our entire lifetime.
Oh, definitely.
And he's got that shit locked up, guaranteed, ready to go. What is the exact number, and how much money is Julio Rodriguez going to make?
It's the J-Rod. I know what you mean. Well, he's guaranteed $210 million. That's a guarantee, longest and largest in MLB history. At $470 million, capping it off. And I believe it said, someone tweeted out, Bob, up to 20 years, but the club has not confirmed the deal, which could be worth 8, 13, 16, or 18 years based on player and team options. So a lot of different variables to break down.
And I also just want to throw something out there right now, guys. This is a, totally different sport, and there's completely other things to think about. But Kyler Murray, the quarterback on the Arizona Cardinals, who has been in the league for several years now and has shown that he's capable of doing this year after year after year, he didn't even get guaranteed that much money. Now, understandably, it's less time on the deal, but that's also at a much higher value position, being the quarterback of a team and having been doing it for several seasons. This kid is getting $210 guaranteed $1 million. So if you get in a car accident and you break both of your legs and get paralyzed, God forbid, you will still make $210 million, and he's not even played an entire season of MLB ball.
I think you're seeing a trend now with a lot of young superstars. Teams are locking them up. Braves have been doing it for years. You see, obviously, J-Rod right here. You saw it with the Chicago White Sox when they locked up Robert. Like, you're seeing a trend happening in MLB. If teams can do it, they should do it right away. Because you see it with Tatis. However, that one is a little bit rocky.
Right.
But you gotta lock him up because the last thing you want to do is let the superstar leave your team and go to another team and continue his legacy there. You kind of want to do it also for your fans. Like the fans, if you want to start creating a dynasty in the next decade or even 20 years with J-Rod, you want to lock up a superstar so that you can sell tickets, make fans fall in love with them, and make me think, wow, last 20 years I got to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I wish we got to that point. And I can go, wow, what a great time. I'm a Blue Jay fan for life. I'm going to buy all their merchandise, blah, blah, blah. It just makes sense from a fan perspective.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to take the other side of that argument right now because I hear what you're saying. But I think that I don't think that everything that we've seen recently is necessarily the rule. I think that that we haven't witnessed right now a young player who gets locked up to something like this bust completely. I could see a Julio Rodriguez because we haven't even witnessed him for a whole season of baseball, right? We haven't seen that. We're looking at a guy like Bo Bichette right now. Bo Bichette, if you would have signed him, like if he in his first season and a half or something like that, you would have signed him to a deal like this, I'm like, all right, great. We got him locked up forever. And now we're seeing the other side of Bo Bichette where it's like, hey, the league is figuring him out a little bit. Maybe he's not as good as we thought he was going to be. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Julio Rodriguez, but I am saying that there is the potential whenever you lock up a player this young, this early, with this small of a sample size, that this deal could come back to bite you in the ass if something goes wrong.
Very potentially. I think that's why they have those other options. Sure, you're willing to give up $200 million for 8 years, but you're not, that's why they got to see. And I was going to read it out for you guys there, but there's like options. If he does win MVP, he gets like an extra $100 million.
Right.
So he's got to perform. He's got to stay healthy.
Of course.
So I can give him a lot more incentive to do that. Now, you were saying Bo Bichette, and I was like, well, I wonder what would be the telltale signs of like why we shouldn't sign Bo Bichette. Strikeouts. He struck out a lot. Look at Julio Rodriguez. Strikes out quite a bit.
He does.
This could be exposable. I'm not saying he will be exposed, but he doesn't walk. There's Bo Bichette. He strikes out a lot. He chases a lot. He whiffs a lot. He could improve, but so could Bo Bichette.
Well,
but we never know.
That's the thing. I think that there's a bit of a fallacy going on in some people's brains where we look at these players, we say, hey, he's 21 years old. And I don't want to take anything from Julio Rodriguez. I made a video room about him. A lot of you guys like that one, so thank you to everybody who watched that. But I made a video room basically talking this guy up and saying, like, he has it. And I do believe he does. But in the 25% chance, like there's no guarantee on anything, right? 25% of the chance this kid busts. 25% of the chance he gets an injury. Hey, there's a fucking 10% chance that he's actually taking PEDs that nobody knows about, right? Maybe Tatis, God forbid, maybe Tatis is bad after this. Maybe there's something like that. Maybe there's something to be said for that. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm just saying that is a lot of money to offer to a player who has never played an entire season of MLB baseball. But GG to Julio Rodriguez. Well done.
You've convinced the team enough to say, hey, give me up to $470 million. And yes, the first club option is for 8 or 10 years and ranges from $200 to $350 million based on MVP balloting.
Right.
So he actually has to be good to prove that he can do it. So, I mean, if that's the way you're going to do it, like instead of guaranteeing all that money like we've seen with Tatis and other players, prove to me that you're a good player. And then once you do that, then you can take the rest of your money. Yeah, sure, I might sign Bo Bichette to an 8-year, $200 million deal, $25 million a year. Feel like maybe that's what he's worth, He's a good player. Maybe he gets better. Sure, maybe I'll take that risk. Again, it's not my money. But if you want to prove to me and get that more money, then that will hopefully increase the chances that during that 8-year period, he can be much better.
Well, and I've always thought too, right? It's like money should be based on performance. Now, I think that you need to have a section of guaranteed money because I mean, nobody knows about injuries, right? I don't think that you should have all your money taken away because you were on the field trying to make a play, you twisted your ankle, you're out for, 3 months or something. That's just not right. So you need to have a guaranteed salary. Everyone needs to have that, so that's your guaranteed money. But then, I think everything off of that should be based on performance, There should be some negotiation in that. If you hit for 300 and you hit 40 bombs, then you deserve more money than what you were going to get paid if you hit for 220, right? That should just be what it is, because the contribution that you're making on this team is a lot more if you do that. So,
and we'll guarantee it and put it in writing if you do. And I'm more than happy. Same thing with Vlad. I really do. I personally, because again, I think I was pulling on my heartstrings of being a fan and wanting to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for a long time, and I do. I want to see Vlad locked up. I think even after this season where we see a down year, if this is the down year for Vlad, fucking give him 300. At this rate, he's going to get $400 million.
It's possible.
It's possible at this rate. Yeah. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets $400 million guaranteed, right, or has the ability, I guess if they structure it some sort of way, to go up to $400+ million.
Well, and that's a great transition, because obviously the Blue Jays do have a crap load of guys right now. I think that there are 4 young players in my mind, as I see it, that probably in a perfect world we could get them extended. Those guys are Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Alek Manoah, and Alejandro Kirk. In my mind, those are like the 4 young players on our squad that are going to need extensions eventually, and will probably, if they continue at the pace of what they're doing, maybe not Bo Bichette right now because he is struggling major, but if they continue doing what they're doing when they hit free agency, they're probably going to get paid a crap load of money. Seeing as other teams right now are doing this, is it time to maybe lock up 1, if not 2 of those guys? Maybe some of the guys that we think are like a little bit more proven, like a Guerrero, like a Manoah. Are we waiting too long on this? Because you're right, $400 million is a lot of money for a player. And, if he does get injured or anything like that, that's a lot of money down the drain. Is it time to, get that going soon rather than wait and his value just keeps going up and up and up?
I think we got to sign the number 1 guy is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And I know there was an argument being like, oh, well, if you're going to sign Vlad, you got to sign Bo, too, because it's like, he'll get upset. Bo is nowhere near Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Last year he was above him, and this year he's above him. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the man, and if Bo Bichette wants to get that deal, he needs to do better. Yeah. But I think we need to sign Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's the cornerstone from this team. He is an MVP. He could be an MVP any other year. He's a great player. He's young. I think we got to do it. And I think we should do something similar to a J-Rod, where you give him incentives. Okay, every MVP ballot, if you get over 5, you get an additional $50 million guaranteed at the end of your deal. Alek Manoah, I think we still got a lot of time. Let's milk that rookie deal a bit, and we have 1 more year of milking it with Bo Bichette a little bit. So I think Alejandro Kirk, we have lots of years of milking that. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he is not on a rookie deal anymore. He's on the arbitration years. It's time to lock him up, make him a Blue Jay for a very long time.
I hear what you're saying about Vladdy, and I think a lot of people in the comments are going to agree with that. But with Manoah, I think that Alek Manoah, I think we're starting, maybe we're not quite there yet, but we're starting to get to a place where I'm pretty confident that I know what Manoah is as a player moving forward. Now, I can't guarantee that in 5 years he's going to still have a 2.5 ERA. I don't know that. But, the odds are definitely that, favoring the fact that he's going to be a better player than he's going to be a worse player moving forward. So with that being said, is it potentially time to think about doing a Julio Rodriguez deal and just say, fuck it, dude, we love you. We think that maybe you even have, Roy Halladay potential for the Toronto Blue Jays. This guy has medium elite, number retiring scenario right now for Alek Manoah. If you stay on this team for a decade, here's your money. Be with us forever, lock down the pitching staff.
It's interesting you bring that up because I'm thinking back to the history, and I guarantee there's definitely contracts, but in the recent last decade, I'm trying to think of young guys who come out and have 1 or 2 good years and then get locked down, and I don't think there's many pitchers that actually have that.
It feels like pitchers less. It feels like with position players, it's happening all the time, right? Acuna, Albies, Tatis, Yordan Alvarez, now Julio Rodriguez, right? Position players, it feels like teams are way more likely to throw money around to, which is kind of strange because pitching-wise, we always say it on this channel. I think a lot of analysts will say it too. It's like you need pitching to win championships, and yet these teams are way more willing to throw the money around to a guy who could potentially hit 35, 40 home runs rather than a guy who could potentially throw for 200 innings and have a 2.5 ERA.
And again, it's weird because, this is based off no stats or evidence, but just based on experience watching baseball. Pitchers are a lot more volatile. Like, they can go 1 year. I mean, look at Jose Berrios. They can go 1 year, super elite. Next year, super not elite. It's very rare that you get a consistent guy through an entire career. That guy's Clayton Kershaw. That guy's Justin Verlander. Like, those are the guys that are, and like, yes, at that point, after you see it for like 8 or 10 seasons, okay, now here's a crap load of money. You could take it. So, but I would definitely be interested in getting an extension. You can go ahead, Victoria. Yeah. I would definitely be interested in giving Alek Manoah an extension for like 6 years. You know what I mean? Guaranteeing. But here's the thing. He's still so early in his rookie deal. Maybe let him play it out. Let's see what he can be. Then maybe lock him down for 6 years, 3 more after the final free agency year, or when he becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
Just keep it on a little bit longer until he gets to around that 31, 32, 33-year-old mark.
So it's like, because I am thinking about it right now, and I'm wondering if there is any statistics to the fact that it's like, pitchers are more volatile or not. I wonder if, because it doesn't feel like that makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me. But I think maybe the reason that we think that, because you're right, it's like I kind of feel like that's the case too. But I think maybe our brains are tricking us here because a position player, they kind of get lost in the lineup sometimes. Like if they're having a bad year, they'll get moved down to like 6 or 7 or something like that. But when a pitcher's having a bad year, they're fully in focus every time that they're on the mound. We watch as that one player is getting annihilated, and maybe that sticks with us a little bit more. I don't know.
Maybe
Food for thought.
Also could be that we only see a pitcher 32 times in a season, right? Whereas opposed to a position player, we see him every day. Every single day,
That's true.
They're in a rhythm where it's like, you have 32 chances to like make yourself elite, where you got 162.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That is definitely true. So, I mean, all food for thought there, and I think that, honestly, Temp's saying it right now, signing Manoah to an Alcantara deal is something that I am 1,000% ready to go. If we could get something like that rolling, then absolutely, I want it yesterday. I think it is something that we need to be doing,
All right, we got a little bit of time left on this stream, guys, so why don't we just take a look at the lineups tonight here, folks? So flipping over here, the Toronto Blue Jays, we've got George Springer DHing. Now, I hear that he's very close to coming back to play in the outfield. Okay. So John Schneider says he's very close. I
don't really care either way. Like, I liked him in the outfield, but, I mean, I'm not overtly upset with Whit Merrifield or anyone else.
Right.
So.
Well, the only well, I know you'll like this. When he plays center field, then Kirk will get more bats.
That's true. Right? That is true. Yeah, I like that.
Right. So Kirk is speaking of Kirk, he's the number 4 spot. They are sandwiching right now in between those two. Springer, Kirk. You got Guerrero and Gurriel. I like Gurriel at the 3 spot.
Sure.
We've been saying it for kind of 3 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that for so long, and then I kind of just like stopped saying it because Montoya just like would never do it.
He would never do it.
I wasn't upset with Guerrero at 3 or anything like that. No. But, Gurriel's skill set feels like it could act as a good 3-hitter, right?
Just
like,
solid.
Get on base,
hit.
Have thumps, like, you have to throw to me, and I am capable of hitting the baseball. Not for a ton of power, but, for enough that I'll get somebody around the base paths, right? And then have Kirk behind him, like, shit, like, just give me 300 hitters and sandwich them together like that.
Yeah, I literally love this top 4, and also Atlanta bringing up Springer was so clutch this past week. Yeah, also to put into note, he had both the go-ahead RBIs in extra innings in this Boston series. So clutch.
Love it.
Absolute clutch. Teoscar Hernandez in right field, right behind those 4. Bo Bichette shortstop. Matt Chapman at third base. Whit Merrifield's going to get the start in center field. And there's Santiago Espinal in the lineup. Feels like his playing time has been reduced a little bit. I feel like John Schneider is prioritizing the lefty in my mind over Espinal's incredible defense, which is troublesome. I prefer the defense versus lefty.
I also do prefer it because I don't think that the lefty provides that much value. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe there's analytics.
Maybe there's analytics. Who freaking knows?
Yeah, and then let's take a quick look at the Angels lineup. Yeah. And guys, the Angels, they are bad. Like, they're not good anymore. They do have 2 incredible elites, but other than those incredible elites, it's like,
it's bad.
What are you doing?
It's bad. Like, literally, I saw the record. Actually, y'all can see it making the little BTS right here. 52 and 73. When the hell did that happen?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Well, for that 52-73 team, you got David Fletcher leading off, Mike Trout, and Ohtani. That's going to be the hardest part of the lineup.
Of course.
That's it.
Yeah.
As always.
The top three, it's like pretty good.
Then who the hell is this? Ringifo?
No idea.
Ford?
No idea.
Faiz? Adele? Actually, I do know Joe Adele,
I do know who Adele is,
but he's not that good.
Not that great.
Aguilar? Velasquez? Who the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah. Like, what happened to this lineup?
Also,
where's Rendon?
He's just dead.
He's done, eh? Like, that was the worst signing of all time.
So bad. What did you get
signing.
for that guy?
This guy had, like, one elite year. Like he was good.
Oh, he was
good,
getting a lot better.
But I mean, like, good.
Popped off.
And then, like, elite. And then it's like, all right, like, where have you been
He got
since?
paid, and then he's literally...
Yeah.
Actually, I'm curious. Because I remember looking back, because I had him in fantasy, and I was like, look at that. Just like, you know, we're going to get... this is good. Like, this was the stretch.
And then, it was, like, elite.
Yeah.
And then good. And then dead.
Dead. We're not playing baseball anymore.
No.
Well, how unfortunate. But
sucks for him and the Angels. I mean, like, that's... I imagine that Rendon doesn't love not playing either. But, God, that is a horrible contract.
Horrible.
Back on it, you know?
And that's why they're selling. If they actually had Rendon fully healthy...
Like, being good, you know?
And then they had... we didn't see in the lineup there if Walsh...
Where's Jared Walsh? Where's happening with him?
He's been underperforming. I remember at the end of fantasy I dropped him because he was underperforming. But if they actually had a good... That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
And now you just need your pitching, and then you wouldn't be selling... Maybe you wouldn't sell Syndergaard.
Yeah.
You know, you have Ohtani. Like, what the hell? This guy apparently, too, Demers? I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
Has a 3 ERA.
Okay.
Like a 3.60, mid-3. So,
all right.
Cool.
Wow.
Right? But anyways, guys, that is the Wine Unwind. Guys, we're going to be going live in about 25 minutes over there right behind us to watch the LA Angels take on the Toronto Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. So if you want to ask your questions, come over there, ask your questions, watch along with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can keep up this beautiful winning streak.
Yeah, love to see it, guys. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching.
Go Jays, go!